Hey everybody, welcome back. And in this video I decided to do a game room tour and just kind of do that before I get everything packaged up and moved out so you guys can kind of see what the game room was like. And when I move into the new place I'll kind of do videos to update you as I set the new game room up because it's going to be quite different from what it is now. So, but yeah, I'm going to start off by just doing the computers. Gonna kind of break this up into 3 parts so it's like not too big of a video, but I'm gonna start off with computers. So I'm sorry if you guys aren't PC gamers, don't care about PC games or retro PC games. If that's not your thing, you may want to skip this video. So but part 2 will be the workroom and kind of the room where I store my excess gaming stuff. And then part 3 will be my actual game room with all the consoles and all my games. This room that we're sitting in now. But yeah, so grab a bowl of popcorn and some Dramamine in case you got motion sickness, because unfortunately I'm filming this with my phone, so it's probably going to be a bit shaky. And maybe with the bowl of popcorn you can dump it out really quick if you have to blow chunks. So sorry if it's a bit shaky, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and let's move out to the computer area. Alright everybody, hope you've taken your Dramamine and got your barf bowl with you. This might be a little bit shaky, but yeah, as you can see I'm filming with my phone. It just seemed a bit easier than getting the big camera rig out and trying to do it that way. But anyhow, we are out here at my computer. It's kind of the first area of the game room. I kind of wanted to save the best for last, but this is my main system. This is where I do all of my gaming, any video editing, encoding, basically anything that needs some balls. This is what I do it on because this is my most powerful system. It's not really anything to brag about. I built it a while ago and I'd really like to build a new one, but it gets the job done. I mean, it's a Core i7, it's a 2600K that I've overclocked to 4.2 gigahertz. It's running 8 gigs of Mushkin black memory, an XFX Radeon 7850 Double D. It's been overclocked from the factory. You can kind of see inside there. It's got quite a bit of storage. I mean, there's, I believe, close to 10 terabytes in there. It's got a Blu-ray burner on it, Corsair 750 watt power supply. It's completely modular, and I've put a larger cooler, as you can see on there, but also you can see through the glare the cabling in here. I'll put some pictures up so you can kind of see the madness that is my OCD for cable management and how much I hate loose cables. I spent the weekend sleeving each individual cable in my power supply, my SATA cables, all that stuff, and yeah, it was a real pain in the ass. I don't know if I'd ever do it again or if I'd just pay somebody, but I definitely, my next power supply will be sleeved, whether it's by me or by somebody else. But then I also have an Asus Zonar sound card in there because onboard sound sucks unless you're doing digital out to some sort of amplifier that's using its own DACs, because onboard motherboard DACs suck a big fat dick. But anyway, so what else is on here? You can see I got a couple of Dell Ultra Sharp 24-inch monitors. My speakers are Swan M50s. Really nice for a 2.1 sound system. There's my scanner. Got a couple of hard drives in here. It's 6 terabytes of storage that I use for an off-site backup. It's usually not here. And then we got kind of the printers here. That's the printer I print out all of my covers on. I don't know how much longer they're going to be making ink for it. It's older than crap, but it still works and I love it, and the picture quality is great, so hopefully they keep making ink for it. But then just my black and white printer. I got a power battery backup there because here in Utah, at least in this part of Utah, In the summer, they like to do rolling blackouts to knock out people's air conditioning units, and that's really bad for electronics, and that started to piss me off. So I got one of these to put an end to that. And the next to it is my NAS, which is my on-site backup. Yes, you can see an A+ certification book there, which I use to weigh things down on the scanner when I'm scanning them in, so there aren't any, so I don't have to use gutter correction or anything like that. Flattens things out nicely. That's about all it's good for. Please, don't bother ever reading one of those. Much better ways to learn about computers. On to my next computer. This is my DOSBox. This is a great finger got in the frame. That's awesome camera skills. But yeah, this is a Packard Bell Excel 455 CDE. This is my first computer. It originally was a Pentium 1 75 megahertz with 8 whole megs of memory, an 850 meg hard drive, and yeah, pretty much everything else in it is stock except for those 3 things, which I soon upgraded after getting it to a Pentium 133, which is maxed out, 48 megabytes of memory, which is maxed out, and a 2 gigabyte hard drive. So yeah, this is what I play all of my DOS games on, if you couldn't tell. But yes, I do have an LCD monitor. At least it is a 4x3. I am debating on going back to a CRT, which happens to be right there, ViewSonic 17-inch. I don't know if I'll do that or if I'll get rid of that or what, but yeah, that is the DOSBox. That is my first computer that I ever got, and still chugs away, and that's how I prefer to play them rather than emulate them. But and now we move on to my backup PC. This actually used to be my home theater PC until I switched that setup over a while back. So this has got a Core 2 Quad Q6600. It's got the same Blu-ray burner that the other system has, and you can't quite see in there, but also has a Zalman aftermarket cooler, although it is not overclocked. It is running 4 gigs of Mushkin Redline. I've got a Creative Labs Sound Blaster Live in there, and just a Radeon, I think like 4550 or something, like some lower end card. It's got passive cooling on it. It was meant for a home theater PC, but I don't use this for anything that special. It's got Windows XP on it, and I mostly use it to play games that don't really care for Windows Vista, Windows 7 environments, so I have to play them in Windows XP, so that's kind of what I use this for. I'm actually selling this desk that it's on, and I don't know if I'm going to set this computer back up or not. We'll have to see, but it's got a 19-inch widescreen monitor there. I hardly ever use the poor thing anymore, but and yes, that is a zip drive, and it still works. But and actually, I should inform you, this desk might be my new workbench. After visiting the new place up there, I've kind of got an idea of how things are going to work, and this might actually become the new workbench. We'll have to see. But now we move on to this bookcase here that's, you know, got this model of the Titanic. I kind of have had this real interest in the Titanic since being a young kid. It just always kind of fascinated me, but really cool that I got that for Christmas one year. Then we got some software CDs, some zip disks, games, some more games, floppy disks. As you can see, Doom on floppy. That's a good old floppy disks. I miss using those to play games. That sound taking 2 years to load something up, but I got manuals. There's the manuals for my old Packard Bell, and then we've got some game manuals and strategy guides. And then down here, these are some a bunch of manuals that I printed out from a long time ago. There's some Funko Land documentation in there, a lot of interesting old game stuff. The left 3 binders, the 2 on the right, are actually work that I used to do in high school in a vocational engineering technology class. Still not sure why I have those around. But, and then some textbooks and whatnot. But and as you can see, I've got quite a few die-cast models. I'm a real gearhead, so I really like to collect die-cast models. And there's actually some more that are over by the computer here. As you can see, a Charger and a GTX. And then I've got a bunch of little Hot Wheels up here underneath the Titanic. Not sure how I'm going to set all this up, if most of this will be set up, but as you can see, tons of boxes. And actually, there is my CRT that the Retro Systems will soon be on, and on top of that is the entertainment center that they're all going to be put in. So I really am so excited, and I cannot wait to set this up on its own system. But last thing that I want to show you in here is this. And this is actually going to be going up in my bedroom. This has kind of been set up down here for the nieces and the nephews to play video games. As you can see, I've got another Wii that's hooked up to it. That's kind of just going to go with the spare consoles and get put away. But and then just a DVD player, which I won't be needing. But yeah, I'll just be hooking that TV up with a satellite dish receiver, and that will be in my room just for me to watch TV rather than having the video games in there. But, yeah, that is pretty much everything in part one here. Lots of work, and now it's time to get started. Get those two boxed up, and then gonna record part two, which will be the workroom, as well as kind of like my game room storage area sort of thing. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Got any comments? Just go ahead and leave them down below. Any questions, whatever, just go ahead and ask them and I'll get to them. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you with the next video.